Hi, I'm Kareem and welcome to the Expat Republic YouTube channel. We're here to make your life as awesome as possible in the Netherlands, so do make sure to like the video and subscribe so as not to miss a beat. As always, my buddy Earl is here with us today. He's still alive. Well, maybe not. Haven't given him any water since the last video. Sorry, buddy. Today we're going to be talking about something super exciting, taxes. It also makes people really scared and generates a lot of anxiety, and I hope that this video will help you guys out. We'll give you a nice overview of the Dutch tax code, how to file, what to do, and how to make it work for you. First off, special thanks to our sponsor, Blue Umbrella. They've helped thousands of expats and internationals file their tax returns in an easy, seamless online way. They're also an official partner of the Dutch Tax Authority, and they can definitely help you with your business, income, or corporate taxes. They offer competitive prices and great service. Do make sure to check out their website in the link below. As a reminder, I myself is not a tax advisor, so anything that comes out of my mouth today is for entertainment purposes only. I've been in the Netherlands for 15 years, and I'm really happy to be sharing my experience today. It's really an incredible country. The first thing we'll cover today is doing your first income tax filing, which happens on a broken year. That's basically the year in which you moved to the Netherlands. This means that you lived in the Netherlands as well as somewhere else, and so you'll have to pay taxes pro rata on the percentage of the time and income that you've made in the Netherlands in that year. As a quick note, the Netherlands is super advanced, and so you're actually able to do your income taxes online. You'll need what's called your digital ID or DigiD. The DigiD is pretty much the gateway to all the social services and in dealing with the Dutch government. Although the Dutch government has amazeballs technology, it's all in Dutch, and it's the hard Dutch. And so if you're new to the Netherlands, your Nederlands is probably niet zo best. This is why I strongly advise you to get some help with your taxes, especially the first time around. For your first income tax filing in your first year, in the broken year, you'll need what's called the M form. You'll have to fill that in. This form basically provides all the information they need about you in order to get you set up in their system. This M form is written in hard Dutch, not the kind of Dutch that you just speak at a bar. In the M form, you'll be asked certain details such as your BSN, which is your citizen service number, financial overview, nationality, and 30% ruling if applicable. You may need to provide other financial information as well as other personal fiscal data. It's really important to not mess this M form up. So you're probably all wondering how the Dutch tax code works. In fact, it's broken up into 3 categories known as boxes. Based on the type of income that you get, it will fall into a specific box. So for instance, the box 1 is taxes based on wages such as salary from employment. The second box, which is box 2, comprises on a tax from compensation from substantial interest. If you own more than 5% of a certain company, you need to pay taxes on the dividends divested to you. The box 3 basically is a tax on your worldwide assets. The way it works is the Dutch government assumes a specific rate of return on all those assets and then taxes you accordingly. So even if you didn't make that money and your cash is just sitting in a bank account, you are taxed on that assumed rate of return. And of course that's not fair, however the regulation may change sooner than later. Keep in mind that in the Netherlands you do not pay a capital gains tax or a tax from rental income. Instead, the Dutch government just assumes a certain yield on your assets. Stock options and equity compensation are heavily taxed in the Netherlands. They do fall under box 1, so make sure to factor that into your calculation to make sure before you make the move and accept the offer. When filing income taxes, you definitely will need to provide certain information to your tax advisor. Broadly speaking, this includes date of birth, ID, and that of you and your partner, of course if you're filing together jointly. You'll also need to provide what's called a jaaropgave, which is an overview of the salary paid to you by your employer. You usually get it at the end of the year or the beginning of the following year. And if you're an entrepreneur, you'll need to provide your profit and loss statements as well as the VAT filings that you did throughout the year. You'll also need to provide a list of worldwide income as well as assets such as foreign bank statements. Also, if you've bought or sold a property in that year, you'll need to give your tax advisor all the relevant information. For instance, such as the price you paid for a mortgage broker because that's income tax deductible. You'll also need to provide your tax advisor an overview of all your mortgage payments made that year, as well as the WAS value, which is the value of your house from the municipality. You'll also need to provide any assessments you've received from the Dutch government. Don't forget any uninsured medical or dental bills and alimony, seeing as those are all tax deductible. For a full detailed checklist of everything you need to provide to your tax advisor, check the link below. We've written a really detailed article on our website. One fun fact about Dutch culture is something known as Prinsjesdag, also known as the Day of the Princes. On this day, the Dutch government announces a bunch of different things, such as Dutch tax code, changes to the Dutch tax code, any fiscal changes, and the budget. One of the things which many expats wonder about or hear about is the 30% ruling. The 30% ruling is a sweet tax deal that the Dutch government gives to foreigners to entice them to come to the Netherlands. Now, normally this is aimed at bringing skills which are scarce in the Netherlands from abroad. In order to qualify, you must have A, been recruited from abroad, and B, employed for a specific type of work. Your employer must also be an eligible sponsor or use a payroll company as the eligible sponsor, also known as the employer of record. Keep in mind there are certain income requirements in order for you to qualify for the 30% ruling. Do watch out, if you're coming from Belgium or Germany, you may not have been far enough from the Dutch border. There are certain requirements that you must be a certain distance from the Dutch border in order to qualify for the 30% ruling. Now, where people get all mixed up about is actually how does the 30% ruling work? In fact, what it is you're only paying income tax on 70% of your income. So for instance, if you have a salary of 100k euro, which you'll definitely live like a king if you're earning that much, you only pay tax on 70,000 euros. But you will pay that 70,000 euros in the same way that any other Dutch citizen would pay. Another really kick-ass benefit of the 30% ruling is you don't have to pay box 2 or box 3 taxes, which is awesome. It's absolutely huge. So do take advantage if you can. Something which is always a concern for people is double taxation. Of course, when you're moving abroad, that can happen. An example of where this can happen as an international is if you're living and working in the Netherlands for a foreign company and the foreign company withholds your income tax, you can get into trouble. So it's important to really go back and then ask the foreign tax office to give back those taxes because you are anyways liable to pay income tax in the Netherlands. The Netherlands has a wide network of tax treaties with countries around the world. This is to avoid just that, the double taxation. Do reach out to a tax advisor for your specific situation as things can get a bit complicated in this area. One last thing before we go. If you're a national from the United States or Eritrea, you must file income taxes in your host country as these are the only 2 countries in the world that tax based on nationality. As an American citizen, if you didn't know that and you've been living in the Netherlands or abroad for several years, they do have an amnesty program, which is a streamlined filing procedure. This allows you to get caught up without any problems. You can only do it once in your life, however. Do keep in mind that American citizens living abroad do need to file in the United States. However, that does not necessarily mean that you'll end up paying taxes in the United States. Thanks so much for today. We hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to reach out to our sponsors at Blue Umbrella, and we'll definitely see you in the next video. Have a nice day.